All right, so to date, this is still one of the biggest learning mistakes I've ever made, and I think a lot of people could benefit from hearing this. The goal here is just to get you to see the value in always asking for a budget before giving out rates. So here's the story. It's my very first ever corporate job where I did a series of videos for a company who owns malls all over Southern California, and they asked me to come in for a proposal. And just for a little bit of background, I actually got this job through my personal network. It's my brother's fiance who works at a company, was in a meeting, and in the meeting, they had mentioned needing something new, something fresh for a type of video to market their malls. She's seen our work, so right then and there, she showed it to her coworkers in the meeting. They then asked to bring me in for a proposal. And when she told me, I was really excited and I scoured the internet trying to find out what the hell am I even supposed to put together? You know, what am I supposed to say? And how the heck do these meetings go? So I asked her a ton of questions. And lastly, I needed to find out what the hell should I charge? And that's actually the reason why I bought a course called Full-Time Filmmaker, so I could figure out the business aspect. However, at the time, it didn't have such an in-depth business section, so I kind of had to guesstimate. And in the course, founder of Full-Time Filmmaker, Parker Walbeck, mentioned that he charged $1,500 a day. And I knew that this was a Fortune 500 company, and I was gonna be doing this advanced style of video that I knew other people couldn't do. So in complete transparency, I just had to give myself a pep talk and just committed to $1,500 a day as a day rate, because while I didn't think I was on the same level as his work, I knew not very many people in my local competition especially could do this. Just kind of thought I should get paid extra for the extra work it takes to make these kind of videos. So a long pep talk before the meeting, and I go in prepared that if I get asked how much I charge, I'd be ready to say $1,500 a day. I honestly practice this so much. Now we're in the meeting, it's going well. I showed them the examples of my work, the stuff that I've done for tourism boards, and they want to know how long it's gonna take to create. And then they ask me what I charge. And of course, I panicked, my heart started pounding, my tongue got stuck in my throat, and I burst out and I say $1,200 a day. I just instantly doubted myself and cost myself $300 a day. And I don't want you to do that to yourself. You gotta believe in yourself. We all deal with imposter syndrome from time to time. Just remember, it's a weird thing we do to ourselves, and it's natural to have these feelings, but don't let them stop you. And that's the thing that I've learned so far about creative work. It's really hard for us to believe in our worth, and there isn't a lot of transparency in what people pay versus what people get paid. So back to the meeting, I had just said $1,200, and I see the lady make a note. And at the same time, I thought, oh shit, I said too much. They aren't gonna wanna hire me. And I don't even really remember how the rest of the meeting went because I was in my head. But almost literally when I got home after the meeting, they had sent an email and they had already agreed to a $1,200 day rate. They just wanted a guesstimate to how many days it would take to create. So I told them 12, 14 days, and they immediately signed off on the budget. And I was honestly so ecstatic, but that should have been a big red flag that I way undercharged. So fast forward to delivery. Remember, I storyboard all of these, so there's not a lot of client revisions in the first place, but there wasn't a single client revision, and they approved it immediately. And they actually had us come in and present it to the office, and we're so ecstatic with it that they asked us to do 2 more. And our main point of contact was so happy. As we were leaving the building, she came, she said, the company that they hired last year took 6 months and cost over $100,000, and they liked mine better, and my turnaround was a lot quicker. And my heart actually just sank. I couldn't believe what I had heard, and honestly, the room started spinning. I have no idea what I said to this day or how I responded, but I just felt sick to my stomach. I got in my car, drove home, and I felt like a complete sweaty flop, and I was just in dread. Now I realized that I should be stoked on life that I got the job and did well and got repeat business. But that moment right there was just such a difficult learning experience. I think it probably took me nearly a year to recover from that mentally, because I also didn't understand contracts and exclusive licensing or non-disclosure agreements. And they basically wouldn't even let me talk about it or use it on my portfolio, which really hurt because I had to turn things down. And to my network, it looked like I had stopped doing any video, any work. And I've since learned from Parker's course, as well as other valuable filmmaking groups, courses, mentors, you should always be asking for a budget. Because if I were to ask for a budget, while I might not have gotten the same budget at the last company, it probably would have been a lot closer to $100,000 than to $20,000. So I hope that this story can make someone a little extra money in the future. You might have already heard it, but I think it's good to hear again. Well, that's my $80,000 mistake. If you have any mistakes that you think the group can learn from, please leave them in the comments below. Happy shooting, and I'll see you next time.